Another day, another story. The UK is experiencing a significant crisis in 2024, involving both social unrest and economic challenges. Social unrest. The social unrest began with far-right riots following the spread of false information about a knife attack in Southport. Welcome to Tabo Eminent channel. On July 29, 2024, a stabbing at a children's workshop led to the deaths of 3 children and serious injuries to others. Misinformation spread online, falsely claiming the attacker was a Muslim asylum seeker, which sparked violent riots across England and Northern Ireland. The riots included attacks on mosques, migrant shelters, and public buildings, leading to nearly 400 arrests and significant property damage. Economic challenges. Concurrently, the UK faces economic instability related to the non-bank financial sector, which has grown substantially since the 2008 financial crisis. The Bank of England, BOE, is concerned about the risks posed by this sector, which now accounts for half of the UK's financial system. The BOE has warned about the potential for a financial crisis originating from non-bank financial institutions, NBFIs, due to excessive leverage and lack of regulation. The BOE is pushing for international cooperation to address these risks but faces challenges due to the complex and global nature of NBFIs. These issues together create a multifaceted crisis for the UK, involving immediate social violence and longer-term financial instability. Background and misinformation. The social unrest began with a tragic knife attack on July 29, 2024, at a children's yoga and dance workshop in Southport. The attack resulted in the deaths of 3 children and critical injuries to several others. The attacker, a 17-year-old male of Rwandan descent, was born in Cardiff and had no known links to Islam. However, misinformation spread on social media, falsely attributing the attack to a Muslim asylum seeker. This disinformation was amplified by far-right activists like Tommy Robinson and on platforms like Telegram and X, formerly Twitter. Riots and violence. The false narrative fueled far-right riots, starting on July 31, 2024, with protests and clashes in London, Manchester, and Hartlepool. By early August, the unrest had spread to other cities, including Sunderland, where a police station was set on fire. The riots involved attacks on mosques, hotels housing asylum seekers, and other public buildings. In Liverpool, far-right protesters set a library on fire. Nearly 400 individuals were arrested amid the violence, which was the most significant the UK has seen since the 2011 riots. Government response. Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who had been in office for just a month, condemned the violence and promised a crackdown on extremists. He announced the deployment of specially trained police units to combat the rioters and emphasized the need for swift judicial action against those responsible for the violence. The government also focused on combating online disinformation, which had played a crucial role in inciting the riots. Economic challenges. Non-bank financial sector risks. Simultaneously, the UK is grappling with economic instability, primarily due to vulnerabilities in the non-bank financial sector. Since the 2008 financial crisis, this sector has grown significantly, now accounting for half of the UK's financial system. The Bank of England, BOE, has raised concerns about the potential for a financial crisis originating from non-bank financial institutions, NBFIs, due to their high leverage and lack of regulation. Bank of England's actions. The BOE has been actively pushing for international cooperation to address these risks, highlighting the need for a global regulatory framework. Despite its efforts, the BOE faces challenges due to the complex and global nature of NBFIs. The central bank has warned of potential crises stemming from excessive borrowing by private equity and private credit firms. To mitigate these risks, the BOE is conducting stress tests on NBFIs and advocating for tougher regulations. Broader economic implications. The economic challenges extend beyond the financial sector, affecting thousands of jobs and the broader UK economy. The BOE's efforts to build resilience in the financial system are crucial, but the success of these measures depends on global cooperation and timely action. The central bank's stress tests and forthcoming reports aim to shed light on the vulnerabilities and drive regulatory reforms to prevent future financial crises. In summary, the UK's 2024 crisis is marked by severe social unrest driven by misinformation and significant economic challenges related to the non-bank financial sector. The government's response to the riots and the BOE's efforts to address financial risks are critical to navigating this turbulent period. The initial incident and misinformation on July 29, 2024, a knife attack occurred at a children's workshop in Southport, resulting in the deaths of 3 children and injuries to several others. The suspect, a 17-year-old male born in Cardiff to Rwandan parents, was wrongly identified online as a Muslim asylum seeker named Ali al-Sheikati. This false information, propagated by far-right activists like Tommy Robinson and spread through social media platforms such as Telegram and X, formerly Twitter, led to widespread anger and fear. Spread of riots. The misinformation triggered riots across England and Northern Ireland. Major cities like London, Manchester, Sunderland, and Liverpool saw significant violence, including attacks on mosques, migrant shelters, and public buildings. For instance, in Sunderland, a police station was set on fire, and in Liverpool, a library was burned down by rioters. Government and police response. Prime Minister Keir Starmer condemned the violence and announced measures to combat extremism, including deploying specially trained police units. He emphasized the need for swift judicial action against rioters and stressed that online disinformation would be treated as a criminal offense. The government also focused on combating false narratives and misinformation that fueled the unrest. Economic challenges. Non-bank financial sector concerns. The UK's economic instability is primarily tied to the non-bank financial sector, which has grown significantly since the 2008 financial crisis and now comprises half of the UK's financial system. The BOE is concerned about excessive leverage and the lack of regulation in this sector, which could trigger a financial crisis. Bank of England's actions and global cooperation. The BOE has been advocating for international cooperation to address the risks posed by NBFIs. The central bank is conducting stress tests on NBFIs to assess their resilience and has called for a global regulatory framework to mitigate these risks. However, the complexity and global nature of NBFIs pose challenges to implementing effective regulations. Broader economic implications. The economic challenges extend beyond the financial sector, impacting jobs and the overall economy. The BOE's efforts to build financial resilience are crucial, but their success depends on timely and coordinated international action. The central bank's stress tests and forthcoming reports aim to highlight vulnerabilities and drive regulatory reforms. Combined impact. The simultaneous social unrest and economic instability present a complex crisis for the UK. The government's response to the riots and the BOE's efforts to address financial risks are critical in navigating this turbulent period. The spread of misinformation and the significant influence of the non-bank financial sector underscore the interconnected nature of modern crises and the need for comprehensive, coordinated responses. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.